I've got to say this. When I read about Howard Roark, I don't measure myself by whether I measure up to that or fall short of Howard Roark. What I see with Howard Roark is I want to be more like that. Not I don't want to be that, not I want to dye my hair orange, not I want to be an architect. I want to be more like that. And more than that, I want to be my version of that. I want to be my version of Howard. I don't want to be Howard Roark. I want to be my version of Howard Roark.
I mean, people talk, I think, rightly about the walk away, that Black people should walk away from the Democratic Party. And they should, and businessmen should walk away from the Republican Party. There are preserves of people who, cling to a certain party for fear of the other party, and maybe they have some reason to, but they should drop that association. Maybe still vote for the Republican or the Democrat this election, if in the full context you think right now this is the immediate danger, but don't think of I'm part of the program of these people or the firewall keeping out the evil from flooding in. They're part of the system that's bringing the evil in. And it might be that, you got to vote for this one this time. But when you're thinking more longer term than which box to check in the polling place, I think you have to think not about which party is better, but how to promote the best people on each side and demote the worst. And most importantly, get the better people to see themselves not fundamentally as of that side, but as for reason, for reality, for values, for America, and to see the parties, the political structures, the tribes as against all those things.
Banking is one of the most heavily regulated industries in the world. If we had a free market in banking, I don't think banks would look like this in any way, shape, or form. Banking crises throughout history are quite common, and it's all the same reasons and it's all the same, more or less, it's all the same banking structure. It's, you're borrowing people's money with the requirement to pay them back very quick in a very short window, and they go out and they invest in longer dated assets, and they really try and manage that liquidity, is what it's called, the needs of the business. And that's what the business of banking is. And I don't, it's very risky because there's a lot of leverage in the business, which means they can fail very quickly. And that's basically what we've seen, time and time again throughout history.
Ayn Rand said it over and over and over. Tom Snyder, in the late 1970s, in one of her last interviews, asked her, you're so smart, you're so great, and that's why your ethics of achievement by implication applies. And she said it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered if I was the top girl in the class, which she usually was, or the slowest girl. It would not matter. Objectivism applies at whatever the scale of your ability is, or whatever the scale that circumstances permit you to achieve. Virtue is independent of those factors, and that's what really counts for an objectivist. I've had friends who were construction workers and truck drivers and some of the best people I have ever known. And they were people who put their heart, mind, and soul into it with every objectivist virtue you could see. So I could admire them, look up to them, be inspired by them. And if anyone, Ayn Rand has a great line in Atlas Shrugged. There are no lousy jobs, just lousy people.
Of course, is the greedy capitalist bankers effed us again, and we need more government control and regulations. Even the so-called conservatives, the Republicans, the defenders of capitalism, well, we really need to crack down more. So it's like every incident created by the regulatory state prompts more regulation. Whether it was Sarbanes-Oxley or the one after that, it's every generation gets its latest spate of financial market regulation.
And then they blame the failures on the little teeny bits of deregulation that they decide to do that are really inconsequential.
It's really important to know what the good is in the world, because the bad is just bad because it's the thing that's putting the good down. And to get back to the theme of it, what's wrong with our two political tribes now is that they're just about fighting some of what they see as the bad, and they've lost sight of the good. They don't have a sense of what the good is, not even a partial sense that and this is a bit of the good. They're reactive against the bad. And one has to get that out of one's soul. One has to not be like that. One has to be about what's the positive in the world? What can I do to help defend, promote, be part of it, etc., including, which of these bastards do I have to prefer over the other one this election cycle? Because, maybe he'll slow down the growth of the threat.